Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, it's Tuesday's request day. Today's map was requested by the creator over on Discord back at the end of May. Yes, it's been 4 months in the coming. Sorry it's taken so long. It's been a really weird spell where we had at one point, I think it was the longest waiting list for request maps we've ever had, and we're forcing through 2 episodes a week of the request maps. But now we're kind of on top of things, and finally we've got to yours. Obviously it's a Snowfall map, so it's not going to be to everybody's taste, but it is a real life location. If you like German maps, if you like being around the edges of other countries like Luxembourg, then maybe this is going to be the map for you. But before we do any of that, as always, ready yourself with your BonBonBingo card. Link is in the description. Tick off the memes as we go, there might be a few today, and of course partake in the daily reminder. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Trier Winterwonderland by Struber. I think Trier is right. Google is telling me it's Trier. But Trier seems to be what my head's telling me is correct, so I'm going with that. It's going to get a beep in the background. So there's your start square anyway. We have a river valley, nice flat buildable space in the river valley. Yeah, that was a car alarm outside. Brilliant. And then we have resources which are pretty strong in awkward locations, or that fertile land up in the hills. And yes, if you want to do some Sunset Harbour fishing, you've got a lot of salmon today. Off to the workshop. What do you need? Well, it's a Snowfall map. You will need Snowfall for this one. And then other than that, it's 100% vanilla. Now, it's taken from a map by Zacharias, who we haven't reviewed for some time. We'll tell you about Zacharias, but we are using the vanilla winter theme and the LUT for Snowfall. Snowfall for LUT. LUT for Snowfall today. And horns. Everybody wants to make noise today. Shut up! Anyway, where were we? Yes. So, Struber we have done twice in the past, episodes 1119 and 1198, where they got a fairly meagre 7 and 8 stars. Whereas Zacharias, we haven't reviewed them since January 2018. This is a take of Zacharias's map Trier, and obviously with Snowfall, not much else has been changed on it apparently, according to the workshop description of this particular map. The 3 times that we've reviewed Zacharias, one of them was a landmark show. Episode 29, yes, all the way back, episode 29, where they got 13 stars. That was the first time ever I gave stars in the review. So, looks pretty smooth there. So yes, back in episode 29 they got 13 stars, episode 54 they got 11 stars, and then there's a bit of a gap to episode 233, which was January 2018, where they got 13 stars again. So a creator with some skill. Obviously the star ratings has been fine-tuned a bit since then, so maybe those 13 star maps may not get 13 stars if they were re-reviewed today. I don't know. I'm not re-reviewing them today. I'm looking at this one, which has obviously been a slight bit of tree clipping through the underside of that, which has been uploaded as a Snowfall map by Struber. Another tree clipping through the underside there, and another tree clipping through the underside here. But I've got to say that it carries, the landscape carries quite well as a Snowfall map. Now this is the main intersection. The 2 highways intersect each other here. And it's quite busy. It's a bit clunky. It's a little bit clunky, but I quite like it, all told. We've got a bit there where it's elevated just above ground level. I feel it should have been maybe embanked, so at ground level I think would have been a little bit more polished. But All told, I like the intersection. I'm guessing it's based on the real life location intersection. I haven't checked, and I haven't looked at amongst all of the maps that I've looked at. I haven't actually looked at the original by Zack Otto, so I don't know exactly how they left the map. But again, from the description, it seems that Struber has pretty much all they've done is they've taken the original map and then they've slapped the Snowfall theme on it, which I mean it's valid. It's valid, and I think it's fair that, you know, we just give credit to Zack Otto for the good work, and I do like the map itself. The location is going to make for a very fun build, I feel. Got a couple of little teats on the end of the highway here. I'm not sure why we gone to teats there, but there we go. Apparently that's the location where Tria is in real life, so that's good to see. The rail, there is a little bit of a gradient going on here, a little bit, and then as we follow the rail line along, there'll be one or two lumpy, bumpy bits that are just short of what realism would allow. So again, though, if this is the exact route that the rail follows in real life, I guess you've got to follow this one, and sometimes things don't quite marry up with gradients, etc., between real life and the game world. Where you think they would, they don't always work that way. We've got a branch line. Yes, a tree under the rails there. It's not too bad, this map, for trees under the network. There is that one, and we've seen let's say 3 or 4 under the highway, but generally it's not too bad at all. So I'm trying to find some positive stuff to say to balance out all the little grumbly things I'm coming up with here. Obviously some sidings there. I don't know if you noticed the rail bridge, the one that we went over the river a minute ago. How the bridge section was centered quite nicely. I think we can give some credit for that. And we've got a fairly solid looking bridge there as well. We'll be looking at the big grumbly bits after the intermission. There are 1 or 2 big grumbly bits after the intermission, but we'll skip over them. We're not going to make a big thing about it. It's one of those that, if you're looking for a Snowfall map, there aren't that many good ones, and so finding one with quite a nice environment, which we have here. I do like the idea of the river valley and the snow in the hills and stuff like that. I like the location for it, so I'm sure there are a few of you that will like the location for it. And if you're looking for a Snowfall map, maybe this will tick a few boxes for you. Only you will know if this is the sort of map that you're looking for. I know that the purists, there's going to be plenty of you grumbling about it in the comments. Grumble nicely, won't you? Grumble nicely. Remember, always be kind in the comments, because just because it's not to your taste doesn't mean it's not to somebody else's taste. And there's one thing I've discovered after over 1,000 reviews: I'm not always right.
Do your bridges look like the game's AI has gone on holiday? Would you like vanilla bridges to be proud of? Then you need the beginner's guide to perfect bridges by BonBonB. Click the information button below.
And so back to Tria Winterwonderland by Struber. Got a little bit of a sharp turning there. I think that could have easily been resolved by simply not having the second shipping exit. I wouldn't have worried about having a shipping triangle there. I just would have had that one exit. I don't think it really adds anything extra to the map by having, even if it is true to realism, by having that extra outside connection. I just don't. I don't see the extra bonus. I suppose down the realism, yeah, maybe. Alright, so anyway, we have shipping route that goes from one end to the other very neatly indeed, and bridges that are plenty high enough. Water flow, we've got good strong water flow. Those of you looking to draw from the main river, pump into the main river and not pollute your citizens, so long as you're not completely dumb and do it all the wrong way around, you're going to be fine, and your citizens are not going to die of typhoid. They're going to die of something, and it'll probably be something else ridiculous, but certainly not typhoid. And there we go, a map as a whole. I do like the terrain. The selection of terrain on this map is amazing, and thank you very much for re-upping it, Struber, in the winter theme. Good to see. There are some grumbles with the terrain, and that is that the height map hasn't been polished out at all. You can see the digitization in the hills here. We can see digitization in the hills over here as well, really strong. And really, really strong on the edge here. You can actually see the straight lines going right the way across the end of the hill there as well. So yes, a little bit of work to the environment just to soften it a little bit would be good. Big splash of blue mantle underneath the railway bridge there that a few of you may have caught on the original flyover. Got a couple of trees in the river over here. Oh, you need to give the river a little bit of time to settle down as well. There's a big lump of water leaving a dry space, but it clears and fills very, very quickly indeed. Over here, a bit closer to the start square, we've got a few more trees here. It's actually closer to the intersection. This may affect a few of your beautiful screenshots, possibly. This is that clunky intersection. Not only is it a little bit clunky, we have, if you get down into the awkward position, no one but me is going to do this, but let's splash a blue mantle under there. The actual rail blue mantle's worse, but the whole intersection is just a little bit clunky, can be tidied up. Give it a little bit of a push, I think. And speaking of pushing, let's push on down to the start square, because we've got an asset of the day, which is going to have snow all over it, but it makes me smile, so why not? Today's asset of the day is Small Town America, won by Smilies. I told you it'd make me smile. There are a couple of colour variations on this one. The white one loaded in for me here. I wish it had been the slightly browner coloured one, because it would have shown a bit better against the snow. Also, the amount of snow on these awnings, I'm sure that's going to collapse under the weight of all that snow. Factoids. Anybody want a factoid? Because factoids. Most plant pollen will ignite and cause a small explosion in my nose, clearly. A big explosion if it lands in my nose. Sorry. Most plant pollen will ignite and cause a small explosion if it falls on a very hot surface. My nose isn't a hot surface. Generally, I'm like a dog. My nose is always cold. Oh dear. Actually, today's not too bad. And it's not drippy for a change either. Ah, there's an image for you. Small Town America won by Smilies. Today's asset of the day. Smilies, top creator. Top creator. Number one on our Hall of Fame list is our Smilies. Very good work. Anyway, see the pixelization, digitization going on from this angle. It's like the place has been knitted. Anyway, what do you think of today's map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen, or the link in the description. It'll take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple, or a Patreon account. But what do I think of today's map? Well, aesthetically, I like it. I'm not going to say I love it, but I like it. I think it works really well as a Snowfall map. It needs polishing to get anywhere near 4 stars. But the fact that I like it means that I'm going to go down the middle and give it 3 stars. I think it's a fine choice of location. Detailing, okay. There's a lot of little things need doing. In general, the highways and the rail aren't too bad until you get to any technical work, like the intersection and gradients and stuff like that. And then we've got blue mantles and trees in the rivers, and it's a high 2. It's a medium high 2. Gameplay. Yep, I think this is definitely a gameplay map for Snowfall. It probably could do with some work, but I'm going to go a fraction above middle 3. I'm feeling it. Yeah, recreate the city of Trier, Winterwonderland by Struber. Is Trier a city or is it just a town? I don't know. It's just across the way anyway from Luxembourg if you fancy a day out in Luxembourg. Or if you don't. Why would you not want to go to Luxembourg? It's famous for dentures. Anyway, dentures have a surface, as does the word of the day. Use that in the comments, score yourself some population points just for fun, and prove you're part of the 20 and out elite. And I'll be back tomorrow with another map in the What Map series. Have a great day.